Welcome to the other side of the studio. Join us for authentic stories, expert insights, and a fresh perspective on wellness to guide you through the nuances of life's transitions, reminding you that every shift, every change is an opportunity for growth. Rooted in the timeless teachings of Pilates, we journey through the 7 pillars of a well-balanced life: spiritual, emotional, physical, sleep health, nutrition, relationships, and financial balance. Are you ready to embrace transitions and live a conscious, strong life? Hosted by speaker, author, retreat guide, and founder of Conscious Strong, Lauren McLaughlin.
All right, welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Studio, where we talk about all things related to your health and well-being that help you become your own medicine. So in today's episode, we are going to be covering another part of my new guidebook that's out there, the Conscious Strong Lifestyle Guidebook that you can purchase now. Is we're going to move into this concept of now emotional health. So emotional health and centering. But first, let's talk about emotional health. So we are definitely living in a time where we are experiencing emotional turmoil, turbulence. A lot of turbulence is going on out there. And so understanding how we are relating to some of the turbulence that comes along in our life. So you can think about a flight, if all of you who have actually been on a flight or you've been in a car where you're experiencing a lot of disruption and turbulence, and you start to build up an anxiety, right? And some can manage theirs better than others, where some are really, in tears or curled up in a fetal position, and then others are able to manage it by just sitting calmly and deep breathing. So this is what is referring to being aware of what your emotional baseline is. So the person who is able to sit calmly and maybe not so calmly inside, but pretended to be, has developed these skills and the tools that has helped him, her to establish a sense of being calm in moments that are really high and volatile and turbulence. Where some of us who are not able to manage our baseline, we immediately go to that fight or flight or freeze so that we are unable to really respond and nurture our emotions because we have gone over the edge, as I refer to it. So if you have gone over the edge, it is going to take a lot of work to bring you back to that emotional baseline. But what is your emotional baseline? Yeah. So emotional baseline is the awareness of your nervous system. And it's not something that we see, so we can't touch it, but our awareness of how we are responding. So it can come out, here's an example, is you feel like your hair is standing up on your back. That's a sign. That is giving you the alert system. That's the alarm bell inside. Maybe you start sweating. Maybe you start out of nowhere, you're in a cold sweat or hot sweat, and it goes beyond a hot flash. But as you start to build your awareness of how your body is responding in certain situations, then you'll start to be able to have a deeper awareness of what your emotional baseline is. So as you are navigating through your day, just be aware, when you start to have moments that, your alarm goes off and you feel something. And again, it could be a rapid heartbeat. It could be maybe those of you who have panic attacks. That is definitely a big alarm bell, a loud alarm bell, that your nervous system has gone a little haywire. You've gone over the edge. And so learning, just number one, the awareness. And as you will hear through all of these pillars that I bring forward in the Conscious Strong guidebook, is that it is really going back to your deep awareness, your awareness of you, who you are, and how you are responding. So as we shared in the first episode, the first pillar, and that was spirituality and breath. Breath is going to move through all of these pillars. It's always with us. So here in our emotional health, developing that awareness first of your emotional baseline, and it may take some work. It may take writing about it. It may take sitting with it, meditating with it. These are just a few ways that you can get deeper into the awareness of how you're responding emotionally, but your breath is always with you. And the breath is what will always start to bring your emotions back down to a baseline that is going to be manageable. Anytime you are triggered into a fight or flight response and you feel out of control, always stop, pause, take 3 deep breaths at a minimum, and you will start to find yourself coming back down out of that state of fight or flight, always. It may take some effort, it may take some work, and that's where going back to that episode on breath work and the deep breath work that can help you to tap into that deeper part of your system. The vagus nerve is a big one, and that's going to be a whole episode in itself. But as you start to understand how your breath can calm your nervous system, that is going to help you bring that awareness to your emotional baseline. Now, let's move into what I shared in conjunction with our emotional health is centering. How do we start to embrace this idea of centering our system? Centering can be just the awareness of your center point of your being, which actually lies, I think, about 2 centimeters below your belly button, or a centimeter, something like that. But you get the idea. Just think of your navel center, your belly button, and that is going to be your center point of your body, your physical body. But you can also then think about your spine. We all have a spine. It may look different a little bit, may have a few little curves here or there, but your spine is your center. It is keeping you upright. So now you can maybe get a little gist of where I'm going to start guiding you in terms of how you start to embrace this idea of centering your whole body. When we are able to bring the awareness of centering oneself, our physical body, we have to start to recruit other parts of our body, let's just say some muscles, to be simple. We have to recruit them so that we're not just slouching or falling off the chair. We are actually upright. So now we're starting to build a deeper awareness of how we begin to center. And when I start thinking of centering, I just uncross my legs. I put my feet on the floor so that I could start to, okay, where is my spine? Where is my navel center? And when you do that, you're going to automatically, and this is a good test to do, you will automatically start to sit upright, even without being told, sit upright, find good posture. But the better posture that we have, the more you're going to be able to relate to, let's go back to that emotional baseline, your emotions. Okay, bear with. There is a correlation here. The more upright and the better posture that we have, the more you're going to be able to find that awareness of how you are feeling emotionally. Science backed. So that is going to help for you. That's going to help you to start to develop again the relationship with your breath and how your breath is moving us now into our emotional health and being able to understand how we are postured in our daily living. And therefore, centering brings us into this concept of having healthy posture. And when we are able to sit upright and have this expansion within us, I will guarantee, as Lauren always puts her stamp of guarantee on any of my work, is that you are going to automatically start to feel better. You're going to start to feel more at ease. You're going to start to feel lighter. You're going to feel like the weight of the world is no longer just bearing you down and crushing you to the floor. You're going to be able to start to breathe easier when you're centered. So do you see where I'm going with that? So let's take a moment and work an exercise beyond just our breath of how you can start to develop this concept of centering to help you start to establish this awareness of your emotions and then taking it deeper to understanding your emotional baseline. All right. So it always starts with our breath. So let's take 3 deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, maybe visualizing this expansion within. Visualize your spine growing taller as you're inhaling. And then exhaling, don't let your growth shrink with that exhale leaving you. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose, expand within, and deep exhale really low from your belly, from your center, your core center, to keep you elevated, to keep your spine stretched and nice and tall. There's that posture. Even just that little bit had me a little out of breath. You could probably hear that. That's a good sign. That means we're exercising our breath, right? And our awareness. So let's now take it one step further. Let's have this idea, and I'm going to start adding some movement gesture here. But I want you to place your hands right here at your heart center, maybe just right here at your chest. And when you inhale, I want you just to visualize, even if you're not doing the act of expanding away from your center, inhaling, you can expand out. Exhale first to bring everything back right to your center. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale gives that permission to move away from your center. Your exhale is what is the permission slip to come back home to your center. 1 more. Inhale, out, expand. How far out can you expand? And exhale, bring it right back to your center. So you've noticed I've said center a lot. So that is the act of physical centering. But then if we take it a little bit deeper into the nuances of our emotional health, your centering is really you coming back into you, your purpose. Again, that spiritual health that we shared in the first part of our workbook together, our guidebook together. And so taking it now into this idea of understanding your emotional baseline, emotional health, centering, you can put your heart center to it, you can put your core center to it, how you start to expand from your center, and then how do you bring it back to your center. That, my friends, is going to give you optimal health, leading you to this idea that you are your own medicine. It's not an idea, it's a fact. You really are. So thank you for joining today's episode on emotional health and centering. Go give it a try. Let me know how you feel.
Thanks for listening. This episode is complete. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the Other Side of the Studio podcast wherever fine podcasts are available. For more info, visit consciousstrong.com to learn about classes, retreats, and more.